Hello! Today we have a Lord of the Rings collective haul for you. If you guys are new, to subscribe and check out our spooky playlists, including our Lord of the Rings playlists that we will link below. And it will be growing because I've realized I have some older collectibles that have not gotten reviewed yet. But this is all mainly Gomez's Christmas haul and mine because after I got him the Witch King ring, I had to order one. So we do that. We have such similar tastes, and then I go, oh my god, I needed that, and now I have to get me one. But I didn't get it till after the holidays, so he didn't see me wearing it because I have no self-control. So anyway, we have so many different items of Lord of the Rings collectibles to show, but we're going to start with the watch. There is a one-ring watch for Lord of the Rings. There's a few, and this is the most affordable. It was $39.95. Let's just keep it real and say $40. Plus, I think like 7 shipping or 9 shipping, maybe 9, from the Hobbit shop, which we will link that watch below, and you can browse the shop with its cool stuff. They did ship promptly. I don't know why I call the case, this came in an egg. I don't know, it's not really an egg, but to me, I just had it in my head that it's an egg. It's not padded inside, so I wouldn't say to keep the watch in it as a constant protective case, but it did ship well, and the watch was in its little packaging, so it didn't like bang around in the mail or anything. It's a nice hard shell case. It reminds me of a glasses case. It's like a hard plastic box.
Yes, Morticia showered me with gifts. Here's my precious ring. It's so charming. And this one has the black and golden scheme. The watch display is based on Roman numerals. The ring is right at the center in all of its golden glory.
Precious.
Precious.
I think you would have preferred not Roman numerals, right?
Yes, Arabic numerals I find it easier to see, so I usually have a preference for them, but Roman numerals are the widespread, and this gives it an old-fashioned touch, which I like. It's appropriate for the pastoral setting of the Lord of the Rings.
And it's a nice watch, and it seems durable. The band is like leather.
Yes.
And
it also came with this warranty, the watch itself, so for 1 year. And it's very charming.
The battery came already installed and working, so that was cool. I tend to do themes. I don't know why. When I'm shopping for Gomez, I do like themes. So I knew he was kind of feeling. We were writing Lord of the Rings roleplay, and he was writing The Witch King a lot lately, and I just thought, oh, Lord of the Rings sounds good, and I just got on this Lord of the Rings kick for holiday stuff.
And a good stuff it was. Speaking of the Witch King himself, here's his ring.
This I didn't even know existed, and I was just like searching for different Witch King stuff. Look how cool that is. I had to get myself one. This came from Italy.
And on the sides of it we see the Witch King himself wearing his crown as the King of Men to whom the ring was given. He is the same on both sides, whichever way I turn. And at the center there's the beautiful red stone, reminiscent of a scrying eye.
And it's got like kind of like a Victorian kind of claw prong-like setting that's holding the stone in that I really like. Again, like Gomez said, it's old world reminiscent, so that's cool. Like you said about the watch, and I think the ring fits that.
Yes.
And this came in size 6.5, which I got. It's going to be a little loose on me, but I just have to deal. And then size 9. So those are the 2 choices. And there weren't a lot of size choices, obviously, since there were just 2, but luckily Gomez wears a 9, so it worked out beautifully. And this came from a company in Italy. And it had a really pretty box that it came in, presented really well, and it had a certificate of authenticity. If you can read Italian, you will get something out of it, but it's cool to have. And this was $32 for the ring, 5 shipping, so $37 altogether with a really nice presentation box and certificate, so I think that's pretty cool. And $5 shipping from Italy is a really nice deal because shipping can be really expensive.
The box is just splendid. It features a map of the Lord of the Rings, some of the lands used to travel, and the golden ring itself on overlaying the whole thing. That's why I used it for the thumbnail to this video. It's just so striking that I keep looking at it. It's very inspiring.
And he's keeping it, so that's kind of cool. Like I think you really get your money's worth when you get to keep the packaging too and like reuse it. Like I'm gonna keep this and use it. It's awesome. Like you get extra, and for that price, it was really good. And the ring is metal. And I doubt the stone is real, but it looks cool. It's not plastic or anything, so at the least it's glass. They didn't comment about it being real, and we can't read Italian, so I don't know, but it's, I do work with jewelry and stones, and so it is metal and at least glass if it's not a stone, so. It looks kind of like a garnet that I used to have, a giant pendant of in that kind of shade, but it's very cool. It's very cool, so I had to get myself one.
Yes, it's entirely worthy. It's very inspiring. It's like almost feels magical and...
It's got Witch King power. He's the
Witch King of Oman.
You know that old song, was it from the 70s? Like they put on the Halloween mixes. She's the Witch Queen of New Orleans, so we have to flip it up and make a Witch King song. So, like, yeah.
And,
is it comfortable?
Yeah, it does sit nicely.
Good. And Gomez is like Princess in the Pea with his rings. He really is. Like, the Prince in the Pea, because you're such a man, so you're going to be the Prince in the Pea.
The Gomez in the Pea.
Yes. It's like, oh my God. So, if he says it's comfortable, it's the bomb.
Yes, it just feels so natural. I forget about it sometimes unless I think, well, if I'm bored, what should I do? And then I'm looking back at it and it inspires me again.
You know, randomly, I hope I remember to put this in the comments. If not, test your memory and go look anyway. His ring reminds me of my Absinthe Fairy ring that I did a review of from Alchemy Gothic. It's called the Absinthe Fairy ring. It's listed clearly in our jewelry playlist, but I'll try to remember to link it below because it has the fairy on either side and then the green stone in the middle. It's not like it, but I mean, you know... And it's like, it's pointed on the edges, so it could almost look like an eye too, as far as the green stone in the middle. So it's kind of like, it reminded me of that, like, I don't know, design concept. Is really cool.
Yes. And then we're moving to the charming eye.
Speaking of the eye. This is the Eye of Sauron. It was a keychain, but I made it into a pendant for Gomez because a lot of times we do that. Keychains are solid pewter, and it's just like, you know, the pendants that you would buy from Alchemy, Gothic, or other places that are pewter, real metal, or wherever. But, you know, if it's not made into a pendant and it's a keychain, you just take it off. I did that with my Gargoyle Bell that we showed in a recent Witchy haul. It's a Gargoyle Bell solid pewter keychain that I turned into a pendant. So it's really cool. So you just take it out the ring and then it's got a little thing, you just put it on the chain. So this I think was around $10. The listing I got it from on eBay, they only had the one, so I have to try to hunt down another one in the links for you guys. If not, it's from 2006. It's just called Eye of Sauron Metal Keychain Fob. There's a lot of keychains out of the Eye of Sauron, but not this one. It's solid metal, and it's cool. And apparently it was from 2006. If I understood correctly, the one I was reading that was out of stock, that looked like ours.
It looks so beautifully magical too, like I could just imagine all kinds of creatures in the right setting and like, oh yeah.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is, I think it's the gift of the author there, Tolkien. Just when you look at the items or figures or just read the books or whatever, it just gives you this total fantasy feel, and not every fantasy book or movie can do that, just where it really takes you to that world and transports you. And with us being authors and general creatives, we really need inspiration like that. So some people get high, we surround ourselves with cool jewelry and decor, and it does it for us.
On the back of it, it features the logo for Lord of the Rings, and it also specifies that this one is specifically from the Two Towers, which was interesting.
That's cool. Yeah, I guess that's when they make different figures or different like items and collectibles for each movie. So that's good to know. Thank you, darling.
Yes.
And it's a nice solid metal piece, and it's all one piece, so no parts are going to come off or wear off or anything. That's really nice.
And
it's got a nice weight to it.
Yes, that's why Morticia is a gift to especially always chooses the best stuff.
Oh no, you do really well too.
Aww.
You're the man.
And then next we have the bead for the Witch King.
Yes, this is like called a lanyard or knife bead, but I always make them into jewelry. So I just put that on a silk ribbon. I thought Gomez would be able to show it better if it was already on what he's going to wear it on. So I just tied a knot in the ribbon at the base and then slid the bead on both ends at once, and then it will hang upright and straight and it won't come off. So quick, fast DIY, not worth doing a video on. That's how you do it. But I have a smog lanyard bead that I made into a choker, and that's linked in Lord of the Rings playlist below, but I recently got that too. They're all seeming to be from Ukraine. Those Ukrainians and Russians, they like to make beads. Except my husband does not, and he's from Russia. Start making lanyard beads, come on.
I'm thinking.
So This is a higher polish than Smog. You guys go watch the Smog one if you haven't, just to compare. It's lighter weight. The Sauron, Witch King helmet, Sauron. I guess he has one too, but the Witch King helmet, sorry, Witch King. It's very smooth. It's like smoother polish, and it's lighter weight than Smog. I think this one's brass.
Yes, it's so like gently shiny, also and evocative.
It's got the crown spikes on top. That one big, tall, middle crown spike reminds me of like a unicorn or something. Like the dark mysticism. And then the front, I guess it's where the visor is, you know, for him to be able to talk and look through, but it kind of reminds me of like a monster face.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that it reminds me how we did the dark side of Harry Potter and we did like our spin-off and stuff like that. So this is like the dark side of Lord of the Rings where we're drawn to all the cool villains and such.
Yes, we do. I was going to say that at the beginning of the video. This is like a spooky channel, so these are all like spookier Lord of the Rings collectibles that we have in general, except my Gandalf that I haven't shown yet because he just looks awesome. But mainly like it's all Gollum and like Smog and Witch King and Sauron Eye, so it's all pretty dark and spooky, as is our channel.
So the card I was showing you earlier when Morticia was mentioning Ukrainian craftsmen, this belongs to the Crafts of Ukraine. That's the name of the company that produced it. So you can see their business card over here, and they appreciate your support, and they did a very good job on it.
Yes, it's very nice, and it was $16 and some change for the bead, and then I think a little bit more shipping. Or was it free shipping? I can't remember. I'm horrible. I usually try to be on that, but it was affordable and very nice, and it's going to make a unique, very cool, evocative Lord of the Rings inspired pendant, and we will link that below with all the other shops that we have shopped. And finally, this Witch King with Orcs Poster from Zazzle. I think it's generally around $17. And it was continuing my Witch King theme for Gomez, and check it out.
It's a beautiful picturesque scene. You can see the orcs in there, maybe even the right hand of Sauron himself, and the Witch King and the army of the Nazgul on their black horses riding with swords lifted high, hooded figures all. So it's definitely a scene out of fantasy, epic fantasy the way it should be. Very inspiring with all the dark characters present. If only Smog was there.
Yes, he was tied up at the moment, but he sends his regards. So we hope you guys enjoyed this collectibles haul. Until next time.
Stay precious, my friends.